Thanks for tuning in to The Real Deal Show, brought to you by eBodyboarding.com and Tribe Boards. Part 2 of my interview with Guilherme Tamega.
Well, I always come out of the water, like I remember when I was young, coming out of the water at pipe, and I look at the tower, I was like, oh God, look at those guys. That would be a job I would do one day, like just take care of pipeline and watch the waves all day. Like I sit right here eating an apple and a sandwich, and I watch pipeline all day.
Yeah.
And those guys like on the tower, like wow,
they're getting paid for it.
And getting paid for it. I was like, and then sure enough, that was when my career ended. It was funny. I always had friends that had regular jobs, and I never had a regular job.
Yeah.
So I want to experience that.
Yep.
I want a regular job where you work getting paid and go home and work getting paid and on my break. So I started like getting a bunch of jobs. I got a Domino's pizza delivery on Schofield.
You and Alistair Taylor.
Yeah, with Alistair. Start getting, working for tips. I did that a couple weeks and got out of there. And I started lifeguarding on the same base, the military base, on the pool with Ben Silvers and Danny Kim.
All right.
And then from that, I was okay. I wanna do the ocean safety stuff, and I did all the tests. I passed the test. Started lifeguarding in town and doing the tour at the same time.
Wow.
And then a year later, I got a full time at the ocean safety at the city and county, and I got transferred. I asked for transfer to the North Shore. The transfer came, and I started working at pipe.
Now, do you have to meet certain criteria to get to lifeguard on the North Shore versus town?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
They say,
totally. They say no, but they will pick and choose who they're gonna bring in. You need to be capable of.
Sure.
Yeah. You need
and
to
they
know.
knew of your bodyboarding career.
Yeah. They didn't care. They don't care about my career, who you are.
Right.
They care less. You better not say who you are, and you gotta keep quiet. It's just through work. I just get the waves are big. You get the big rescue board and paddle out on a 12, 15 foot. That guy's crazy. And and then take off on a banzai and pupukeya 10, 12 feet, stand up and on a rescue board. There was big yellow board. I was like, oh my God, look at it. This is how you get respect.
Yeah.
And this is how you show, like, I was having fun, but at the same time, those guys are like, okay, this guy is something else.
You're showing you're comfortable in big surf.
Yeah. You don't say it. You earn.
Right.
You earn your credentials. And you don't ask for it.
And what year was that you started lifeguarding?
That was
ocean safety lifeguarding.
8 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. That was 2015.
Yeah.
14 actually.
So you've been lifeguarding for 8 years. And you're mainly always at Pipeline, or sometimes they move you around different locations?
They move me around, and then now I'm a jet ski operator. I move up a little.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I always want something different than a challenge, new challenges.
Of course.
This ski, and it is challenging. Jet ski is a challenging stuff, and I want to take that challenge, and Wow. I'm a jet ski operator today, so we own a mobile. There's 2 trucks with 2 jet ski, one on the Waimea side and the other one on a Pipeline and on the other side of the bay. And I work either side, and we're less flexible to go out, and because you and a partner by yourself with the radio, so waiting for a 911 call, or some other tower need assistance. So we launch the ski and go get it or go help.
Wow.
So that's me right now.
Do you love the job?
I love the job.
Good.
I love the job because it keeps me healthy, keeps me bright, my mental side of it, and I love to help people. I love to save lives. Yeah. And once you save one life in your lifetime, you can't compare with nothing else.
Well, let's talk about that. What's the heaviest rescue you've been involved with? And I know you've been involved with some very high-profile rescues that have been all over social media. What's the heaviest one ever?
Okay, the heaviest one was Dylan. His name is Dylan from New Jersey. He's a bodyboarder too. He's probably gonna watch this. But I went out on my break, out of pipe. It was this bodyboarder out there. It was 6 to 8 feet. I went out and I was like, oh, I never seen this guy before. But anyways, and then this wave came. He was a little behind, and I was like, oh, I want this wave. And oh, this guy going. And I saw him, he was paddling really slow. I was like, no, don't go, dude. And he went, like, pretty slow. No. And I was like, oh, God. Then I started watching, and the wave went. I was like, oh, God. And just saw his board, and he never popped up. He passed out underwater. I was like, okay, it's on. I was like, and then the set came. The first wave of the set, I let it go. And the next one, I went on the back, like a 6 to 8 feet wave. I went on the back, boom, exploded. And when I got up and just saw that board going away, and I paddled as hard as I could. And when I reached the board, I just reached down, grabbed his lycra vest, and he has like this big hole in his head, and completely passed out. So I grabbed him, started taking, wave, all the beating, all the way to the middle part. And then when the Jamie O'Brien, the Volcom House guys came out to help, and of course the lifeguards from the tower.
Yeah.
We got him on the soft top and got him to the beach, and then over there I just passed on to my colleagues, and they did the compression, and 2 minutes later he started coming up. He started getting back and be really combative, and this is pretty much the what happens when the guy comes back from those injuries.
Yeah,
he started coming really combative, and 1 hour later he was talking to everybody at the ambulance.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow, you saved. That's one of many lives you've saved, I'm sure. But it takes a special person to be able to paddle out in surf like that. And not only recognize when somebody's in danger or knocked out in that case, but put yourself in a position where you could get killed as well, taking giant waves on the head, trying to drag an unconscious person to the beach.
Completely. That's why I tell everybody, we all lifeguards.
Yeah.
We gotta watch for each other, no matter if you're a surfer, body surfer, or bodyboarder. I don't care.
Yep.
It's alive. We need everybody to go back home to their families and to back to our bed. And this is a must for a human being, a good human being. So we always gotta watch for each other, especially when we 1 or 2 or 3 guys in the water only. I have people passing out in São Conrado, Pepino in Brazil. A friend of mine, passed out on a 3 feet sand bottom.
Wow.
That never happened before, but sure enough, that guy passed out.
Wow.
And the friends saved them, and he's still here with us.
Yeah.
And we never know, guys. We just gotta,
always be vigilant is what GT's saying.
Always vigilant.
Yeah, somebody, you never know when somebody's gonna meet the bottom, hit the bottom with their head, or pass out. Whatever happens, they may have some undetected health issue that pops up when they're in the water.
Yes,
so yeah,
surfboard hit them in the head.
Right. So always keep on the lookout. Let's talk about some more fun stuff, not so heavy anymore, because that was heavy, man.
Okay,
heavy story. More recently, you've been getting into. Let's talk about your Mentawai trip. Mm-hmm. You've had a pretty amazing couple of trips over there. A couple friends of mine went on your most recent trip and loved it, had a great time. Is this something you're going to get into, doing more like trips to other places, or just you're going to keep doing the Mentawai trip?
Yeah, the Mentawai opened a door for, I wanted to do like a GT experience type of business that I do groups for different places, not only Mentawai, but other places in the world, especially bodyboarding, which is my stuff. And the whole GT stuff is it's the whole experience from 35 years to whatever bodyboarding life I had around the world, and everything I learned, everything I did, and most of all, be happy and good energy and have a good time, But at the same time, teaching those guys what I did on this career, what's my tactics throughout my career that helped me be a good bodyboarder, a good person, and a good athlete, and a good human being.
Yeah.
And the whole experience is like, first thing you get on my trip, you leave all your problems behind. All your problems stops right here.
Right.
So I'm really like, I'm a good energy guy. I'm praised for good energy people. And if you're not a good energy people, on my boat, on my trip, you will become one.
I thought you were going to say you're going to get thrown overboard.
No. Everybody's
right.
welcome. There's no discrimination.
Yeah.
But we will learn to be a good energy and always up, never down.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to come on this trip, where do they find the information?
Yeah, on Instagram, GT Mega Experience is the name.
So your Instagram is GIUTAMEGA. That's Instagram. Follow GT on Instagram, and you'll see when his trip comes up. Usually in April, I think. Am I right?
Yeah, May, April. Next year we're gonna do two. They almost one is sold out. The other one is half sold out. I was trying to do more through the year, but with my job too, and I still try to figure out this whole mega experience with my job. Try to
figure out your vacation time and
combine everything and
Well, we'll put a link to your Instagram.
But I
in the
love
description.
It's a great experience. Is a God boat or experience. God is always in command of my life, my family, and everybody's welcome.
Well, my first trip to the Mentawais was with you and Vicky and Eppo and.
Were you on the boat?
Yeah, you were in my cabin with me and Vicky, and you would wake up in the middle of the night screaming and try to climb out the porthole above our bed. You were having a nightmare or something, but
I'm a night walker.
That was a great trip.
I'm a night walker.
Yes, but we had great surf on that trip every day.
Yeah, it was amazing.
HTs absolutely firing, and you almost ripped your nipple off, as I recall.
Oh, yeah, I still have the scars.
Yeah, that was from that trip. That was, I don't know, 1996 maybe, somewhere around there.
Yep.
Good times. Okay, so that brings us to the next thing. GT Boards, your brand. Let's talk about your brand. Like, you started it when, and what is the sort of the direction of your brand right now?
I started when I retired, pretty much. Got away from Wave Rebel, and what everything started in my mind. I was like, okay, I wanna make a brand that I can do whatever I want. All the experience I had, everything I tried, every rail, every channel, no channel, stringers, top, bottom, shapes, this, that, tails. Now I can do whatever I want, and let's do this. At the same time with the customer and the commercial side of it in mind, try to combine all of those, and the design. I love it. Everything came was okay. I'm gonna do the GT boards. It's gonna be my brand. I'm gonna design it. I'm gonna do the way I want it with what the customers wanted, and let's do this. Try to find the best materials. I went to Taiwan to Edge because I think they have different technologies like the Skin Tech and some other ones that they do in Indonesia where the other brands are. And I always like, not only when I was a rider, competitor, I always try to be different. I always try to hit the lip different, ride different, approach the wave different, be a different professional athlete than all the other guys. And with all those experience, this is the same thing I'm doing with my brand now, and always being be different. Try to, this rail, this angle, change this quad channel. No, this 2 channels, more, less, bigger. And I'm not the guy that like to follow the line. Okay, everybody's going this way. No. I'm going this way because I want to be myself. I think there's other things people should try, other things people should look at it, because if everybody follows this line, everybody's going to be. When I came to the market, the whole industry was boring. Every board was the same, and only different logos, and everything looks the same. And you look at the water, everybody look like a penguin. Black wetsuit, everybody looked the same. And I always like white wetsuit. I always like bright colors. I think bright colors are energy, brings energy out of you. Everything conservative and black and gray, I'm not a fan. And okay. I know there's a lot of people that's not a fan of that either. So I'm going this way, like I did in my career. Yeah. And as an athlete, as a 6-time world champion, and I'm going this way, I'm going my way, and I'm gonna do, of course, with the touch of what people want. Of course, as a businessman, I'm not gonna do my crazy ideas, put a board like a T-drop that I used to ride like 30 years ago and put in a shop, which is 10 guys gonna buy it. It's not gonna happen. Yeah. So I gotta combine a little bit of a little bit of the T-drop with a little bit of a modern shape, a modern what the customer wants, which is what the best riders in the world rides, and those more modern, small nose and more like today's shape, and I try to combine everything to make a line that comforts everybody. Yeah. The Fire, which is this model here, is more modern shape. You got to ride more on the nose of the board, which is not my type of riding. Yeah. My ride is more far back, which is more comfortable. I need more wide, like Apple, more T-drop shape, right? Yes. And we ride more comfortable, more back here. And this small modern is like the way the Pierre rides, or Tanner rides, or Socrates rides, which is more on the nose of the board. And that's not me. Yeah, your shape is, like you said, more like a teardrop. It has the high wide point, very wide nose. Ben Severson used to ride a board very similar to that, and the tail is drawn in. And that is a totally different style of board that's hard to find now. You have one in your line. It's the Flash. Yeah, the Flash, yeah. And there's a lot of people look for that. I get old school guys that are used to that shape, and they want a shape like that. So GT has it in his line. We'll put, by the way, a link in the description here on YouTube to GT's website, where you can check out the full line of boards. And fins too. And I have the Mega Blue, which is based on the Reale, which is the best. I work with on the Reale, the design with the Alex De Pontes and the whole crew. You were sponsored by them. Yeah, and I give feedback on the develop of this fin, and people love to say, oh no, doesn't no. I did this template because it's the best template, it's the best fin in the world, and that's why I did it again, because I work on it. Yeah. So OG with Reale more fins than anybody in the industry, anybody else. I'm the one that can copy. That's right. This fin, and I do that with a lot of pleasure, because I know Alex is watching up there, and he's totally down for that too. But and then I brought the classics, like the Flash. You said, all the Flash was the best winning board of all time. I have countless winning events on that board, and I brought it back. And then I started doing prints on the bottom of the board, and start splashing. I want something different. I try to do get away from the same old industry that we always watch when GT boards came into place. And now you see a bunch of brands doing all different stuff, all designs on the back, and which is great. You know, the industry is not boring anymore, guys. Yeah. It's great. You know, and let's pop up.
Well, you get some credit for pushing it in that direction, which is great.
I know I did because I was one of the first ones to do it.
Let me talk about as we get down to we've been going for a while here. I don't want to keep you too long, but I have a few more questions for you. Let's talk about your family. You have 2 kids and a wife. You want to talk about them, or are they too shy to even be mentioned on a podcast?
You know, they're a little shy. You know, I respect their privacies.
You can embarrass
and I always been, you know, really private to myself. You know, my family, and I never like to expose my personal life. I was growing that way, and now with all this social media and this phone on your pocket all day, and people, you know, try to, you know, our life is for ourselves.
Sure.
And, you know, and some people like privacy, like I do. You know, great. You know, people gotta respect that. And you know, my daughter, she doesn't like me to, you know, show her, and it's okay.
That's fine.
You know, she hates it. And my son is okay, but at the same time, I don't like to show too much.
Yep.
And
no problem.
Yeah, that's us. That's
no worries.
That's Tamega family.
I had to ask. A couple of questions that I know people are going to ask. I want to finish up with. One is, do you ever get scared out in the surf?
Of course I do. You know, we all get scared. Yeah, of course.
I'm thinking our trip to the Cook Islands.
Oh, God. Oh, talk about scared.
Gigantic swell.
Mike Stewart was following that.
That was swell. The Mike Stewart swell. He followed from Tahiti to Alaska. We were in the Cook Islands, close to the epicenter of that swell.
Unfortunately.
Oh, my gosh.
What a weekend we picked.
Yep. So you paddled out. We had some days, like there was very few people riding waves in the Cook Islands at that time. And when we went there, we didn't know any of the spots. We had one local guy showing us. His name was Corey.
Yeah.
He showed us the spots and said, yeah, that's a spot out there. And meanwhile, like 20-foot waves are just unloading on a reef with no channel. And I looked at it and said, I'm not going out there. You and Nels Velocito paddled out, and I swear to God, I thought you were going to die. You were taking off on below sea level, like 20-foot high waves. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was crapping in my pants.
Yeah. I didn't notice. You didn't show your fear.
Yeah, but fear is important.
Yes.
You know, fear is important. They keep you awake.
Well, one session we had, it was so crazy. The current was terrible. It was at the end of the day. We probably shouldn't have been out there. And you caught a wave and went in because it was so crazy. And Robbie Crawford and I were stuck out there. Robbie was almost in tears. But luckily, he and I kind of guided our way into the beach and survived. But
Robbie freaked out. He went full on panic mode.
Yes.
Started screaming and crying.
Yes.
I went back out to get him out of there. Okay, follow me. I got Robbie out of that because he went completely frozen. He froze himself like.
Yes.
The problem with the Cook Island is since the waves break far away, you can really tell the size.
Right.
That's the problem. And by the time we get out there, it's like 2 or 3 times bigger than it looks.
Because there's no one else out there, so you don't have any perspective on the size.
Exactly.
So GT does get afraid occasionally. What's the biggest surf you've ever been in?
I just went on an Eddie Day, Eddie Aikau Day, Waimea. Was one of the biggest swells.
And you were out on a bodyboard?
I went out of Himalayas.
Oh my gosh.
It was 30 feet Himalayas. Perfect. You see those waves, like, it's like a 30 feet plus left, like perfection.
And you wanted to ride that.
And I saw from the tower, I was working on a jet ski with my partner. I was like, let's go. I'm going out. Man. He drove me there. And I had no suit, no flotation device, like crazy stuff. I should never done that, but
And how many waves did you get?
I got like 5, 6 waves.
And
there's one that I took off kind of late. I almost did the scorpion, like a 25-foot, like Himalayas. I almost did the scorpion, and I made the drop, and I was like a roller coaster. I was like, I did all that because my partner was there with the jet ski, which comforts you too, you know. But
backup,
at the same time, I had no vest, and it was kind of crazy.
Oh my god!
But that was the best waves I ever ridden. You know, I tried Jaws a couple, like 2 times. My first time I went to Jaws, I got some big bombs, but was probably might be bigger even, but. This was pretty memorable.
Wow.
It's on my Instagram too. I posted some of the stuff.
So you haven't slowed down at all when it comes to big surf?
I guess not.
You don't have any fear of death when you're out in waves like that?
I do, but you know, you work so hard. You're always training. You know, we live for that. That's our job. Yeah. Not only we, you know, live for that. That, you know, the whole routine that we do, I do at least, helps me, you know, be a little bit more comfortable in those kind of conditions. But still, when it's big, North Shore, when it's big, it's big. I still crapping my pants on it.
But at 51 years old, do you have any decline in your physical ability that you notice? Or are you still at the top of your game physically?
Of course, a little bit less, but it's all in your mind. I not even feel the age. Yeah, age is just the numbers. Yeah, like, you know, you see your hair going gray a little bit, and this and that, wrinkles. But I don't care about the numbers. It's just
keep going.
Yeah, I just live the way I want to live.
I love it. Yeah. That's the way it should be. Vicky's jumped into the scene here.
Well, it's not a professional podcast.
She's heading home.
I mean, it's a family podcast.
Oh, thank you. I'll be home soon.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Kieran's here to pick me up.
Oh, drive carefully. On my son's.
You can edit that, right?
Okay, yeah, I could. Makes more work for me. No, I'm just kidding.
Clip it out.
Do you get back to Brazil very often?
I try to go every 2 years. You know, family, mom, friends, business. I have a lot going on in Brazil, and I love Brazil. It's my country. Yeah. You know, I love my country. I miss my country a lot, but I love America too. I'm so grateful for this country here, and I'm so fortunate to be an American. Yeah. And call myself American too. And I'm so grateful for everything this country gave to me, which is, you know, probably if I didn't have this place and this country, I don't know if I could make it all the way through. And I'm really grateful.
Well, most of us in this country came from somewhere else, whether it's our generation or 2 or 3 generations back. You know, my ancestors came from Europe, and so I get it. Land of opportunity for all of us.
Exactly. Yes.
So the opportunity is there. GT Boards, if you want to check out GT's line. Anything else? Anyone you want to thank GT as we wrap this up?
Well, since Patty's here, I want to thank Patty.
Of course.
You know, she has a lot to my career and my life. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be here, really. You know,
well,
when I first came to America, she was the one to, you know, welcome me to her apartment, and I stayed with her. And she was running BIM magazine, Bodyboarding International magazine back then, and we were all about bodyboarding and be happy and have fun and good energy. And I love you, Patty. She's awesome.
Yeah, and the Patty Serrano interview will be coming soon, folks. Soon. I got to pin her down. I think that's going to be a long one. Anyone else you want to thank?
And Tom Morey, you know, Tom, thanks for changing our lives forever, and we all love you. You know, whenever you are.
Rest in peace, Tom.
Rest in peace.
For sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up, folks. I hope you enjoyed this interview with Guilherme Tamega, GT. And man, I mean, this should have been one of the first interviews I did, but this guy's busy. He's saving lives on the North Shore of Oahu and putting out some amazing product here. So if you have any comments for GT on the YouTube broadcast of this podcast, please put some comments down below. I'll try to send them GT's way. If you listen to the audio podcast, hope you enjoyed it on your run, workout, drive, whatever the case may be. Maybe at work while your boss doesn't know you're listening to a podcast. I'm a bad influence. But folks, in any case, thank you so much for watching. GT, thank you for your time, brother.
Thank you.
Right on. Let's make it not 10 years again the next time we see each other. I'll be on Oahu in November, so I'll try to look you up at Pipeline if you're there.
Let's do some updates.
Right on. So that'll do it, folks. As always, we will see you in the surf.
Aloha. Yee.